Hi, my name is Jakub and I wanted to show you the micro-frontends template for bunnyshell. So first, what are micro-frontends? Micro-frontends is an approach to software architecture that's like an extension of microservices into the UI world. So in our example here, we've got two teams, team orders and team payments, and each of them has their microservice, that's orders and payments, and each microservice has its own UI component that's exposed in a single shared front-end app. This way, each team can deploy their own service and their own UI independently. This gives a lot of autonomy to each of the teams. One of the issues with such a setup with so many moving parts is that when you try to run end-to-end or integration tests on your deployment, there's a possibility that someone will do their own deployment in between and break things. So here's where bunnyshell comes into play. Each of the teams can create their own ephemeral environment and use that to run their own test suite. This way, they basically create a snapshot of all other services and only modify the ones that they want to. So let's see how it looks like in bunnyshell. We've got a few services running here. The main entry point is the front-end application that hosts our UI and composes different components into a single page. There are two microservices, orders and payments, maintained by their teams. There's also OC registry, which is a helper service created by Open Components Framework. It hosts the UI components. The last part is infrastructure that creates all the required things in Azure, which is service bus, storage, and so on. Let's take a look at running application. Let's go to the front end. There's not a lot of UI going on in here, but the magic happens underneath. So what you can see is there are two components. One of them is the place order button, which is an OC component, and that's downloaded from the OC registry and inserted into the page DOM. And the other one is a list of orders. That's a separate component maintained by the other team, and they work together. So when I click place orders, it goes to the payment service. The payment is fulfilled there. An event goes to service bus, which is then consumed by order service, and finally order service using WebSockets notifies our front end that the order is complete. So if you take a closer look, we've got pending status, and after some time, the order is now complete. On the infrastructure side, we've got a resource group where we have all our resources. This is a storage account and the service bus, and as you can see, they are suffixed with the bunnyshell environment ID. So there's no conflict when another environment is created. To summarize, this template allows you to simulate a multi-team environment where each team has their own microservice, including a UI layer that's composed using Open Components technology. You can also take a look at the code. It's in GitHub repo. Every service has its own Docker Compose file, so can be run locally easily. There's also one main compose for running all the services that you may need. And that's it. Thank you for watching.